Today we're going to talk about rational functions and what their graphs look like. We're going to talk about the domain of a function. Remember that the domain is the set of all possible x values. The denominator can never be equal to 0. So those are two things that we need to remember before we jump into today's lesson. So there are 2 points of a graph that can happen where the x value wouldn't exist on that graph. So the first one is a hole. So a hole occurs in a graph if anything in the function can be canceled out. So if we look at this example, we are going to look to see if we find any holes in the graph. We have f of x equals x plus 1 over x minus 3 times x plus 1. So the first step in checking if there are any holes is to make sure your numerator and denominator are factored, meaning they are in their simplest form. We do have them already factored. There's nothing simpler I can get. There's nothing I can pull out of either of those to make it any simpler. So now it says step 2, cancel out anything that is exactly the same in the top and the bottom. So in my top and bottom, I have x plus 1, so I'm able to cancel x plus 1 out from the top and the bottom. Step 3 says set what you canceled equal to 0. So we canceled out x plus 1, so I need to set x plus 1 equal to 0. And then step 4 says solve. So I just set x plus 1 equal to 0. I'm going to solve it by subtracting 1 from both sides. So this tells me that on the function f of x equals x plus 1 over x minus 3 times x plus 1, the graph is going to have a hole at x equals negative 1. That means the graph is going to not have a y value at x equals negative 1.